American Natividad outside of Toronto Police Headquarters, where this afternoon protesters were calling to defund and abolish the police. The demonstration came on the fourth and final day of virtual town hall meetings, where hundreds registered to speak directly to those who have the power to reform policing in our city. Outside of Toronto Police Headquarters at 40 College Street, a now familiar rallying cry.
No justice, no peace, abolish the police.
And online, those cries echoed.
Defund from the police and also eventually abolish the police.
But though many who spoke directly to members of the Toronto Police Services Board were happy to have their voices heard,
call out the sham in-camera town hall meetings.
Many protesters outside felt that the town halls, which were held over 4 days to accommodate hundreds of speakers, were a sham.
City Council already voted to not defund the police. City Council also voted to not demilitarize the police. City Council also voted to institute body cams. One would assume that you would meet with your community first, and then you would vote.
Black people under attack, what do we do?
The protest was organized by the No Pride in Policing Coalition with support from Black Lives Matter Toronto, Afro-Indigenous Rising, and others. Among their demands, an immediate 50% reduction in the $1.1 billion police budget, with those funds redirected towards housing, transit, public health, and more. Bain believes policing itself must be redefined.
We're saying this is how abolishing takes place. It's not an overnight issue. It is by starting to defund the police and actually restore communities. One will see that there will be less need for the kind of law and order agenda that exists and that policing carry out.
Justice for Regis Koshinsky Paquette.
Outside and online, the names of Black lives lost during wellness checks involving police were repeatedly read aloud. Regis Korchinski Paquette, DeAndre Campbell, and Andrew Loku, among others.
I'm a trans woman, right? And so for me, the police have never made me feel safe. My sisters have complained about being assaulted by police, right? By going to police from being sexually assaulted and telling us that it's our fault.
We are listening, and I think taking notes as we go with this. I'm hearing, obviously, the passion.
One of the recurring messages throughout the town halls, the public can no longer wait for the board to take action.
When this pandemic hit us, we didn't wait to figure out a solution. We quickly figured out what we needed to do. We quickly figured out the steps that we needed to take.
You make a really good point with respect to the speed with which we managed to do things during the pandemic. We operated at what I call wartime speed, to make those changes. And I think you're kind of telling us to do the same thing on this change. So message received. Thank you.
Now, one of the concerns Mayor Tory seemed most surprised about, I should say, was body cameras. A lot of people expressed that they were against body cameras, so we did ask him about this. And in a statement, a spokesperson for his office said in part, while he has taken note of all of the comments made, he believes cameras will ultimately help with matters of trust and accountability and rules governing their use. But he will raise at the board meeting and prior some of the particular concerns about the use of the cameras. Now, as for next steps, the comments made will be reviewed in summary at the board's meeting on August 18th, and the board's chair said that those comments will help inform them on recommendations going forward.